Investors ditched them in droves last year. Now cryptocurrencies are making a remarkable comeback. The value of one Bitcoin has surged 125% since the beginning of the year. This month alone saw half those gains, pushing it towards the $9,000 mark. Bitcoin was the first and is the largest cryptocurrency and has become the standard for digital currencies. They're built on a decentralized peer-to-peer network. Others include Litecoin, Ethereum, Zcash and Dash. And big players are looking to create their own new digital currencies. Facebook is looking at a product called Global Coin, while the US bank JP Morgan has come up with its own JPM coin. Very inventive there. Well, let's talk to Thomas Schouten. He's from the blockchain application platform Lisk. Thomas, is Bitcoin finally coming of age?
I think so. I think we're seeing true mainstream adoption starting to kick in. This year, over 125% up, beating basically every asset in the world, gold, tech stocks, S&P 500. And I think the main driver of that is institutional investors. They really see the use cases behind Bitcoin beyond speculation and really putting their assets in place.
Should I be kicking myself? I mean, I was thinking about investing at the end of last year. I didn't want to go near it while the speculators were all involved and the prices were going crazy last year. But could it be set for more of a roller coaster ride? I mean, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's easy for me to predict that. I think we will see prices above $100,000 eventually in the time frame of 3 to 5 years. Due to institutional investors, big companies like Samsung, Facebook, already mentioned investing. Jack Dorsey, founder and CEO of Twitter, adopted the native internet currency already. We see disappointing tech IPOs, Uber failing, so people are reallocating their assets to emerging opportunities like Bitcoin. And we see next year the halving, so the inflation will be cut in half, and it becomes one of the most rarest assets in the world, and appealing many more investors.
What did Dorsey say? The native
internet currency.
Currency. It's not mainstream yet, though, is it? And when will it be?
Yes, I think the mainstream adoption comes from companies like, for example, Samsung releasing their flagship phone, the S10, and by default embed a blockchain wallet or a crypto wallet and enable currencies like Lisk, but also Bitcoin to be featured on there and make it very easy for people to buy those assets. And companies like Coinbase and Binance and others are all making the infrastructure much more accessible for the average Joe.
So can you safely say it's no longer just a way of profiteers plunking their money somewhere safe, somewhere where no one can get at it? Or is it a case that the speculators are still at play? What do you
Absolutely.
reckon?
I mean, it's still like a highly speculative, volatile asset. That's 100% for sure. Warren Buffett, one of the most greatest investors in our history, called it rat poison. So we're not all on the same page in that regard. But I think that the more younger tech entrepreneurs and visionary people in our industry are building infrastructure, and I think people will follow suit eventually, definitely.
And the uses at the moment seem endless. Like, it's not just for investing and for exchanging. It's also being used by non-profits to help out needy Venezuelans, for example, and heaps of examples.
Absolutely. I mean, myself living here in Germany, we're lucky with a relatively stable euro. But elsewhere in the world, like in Venezuela, for example, they have absolute hyperinflations of thousands of percentages. Turkey, Argentina, Zimbabwe are facing the same, and people are fleeing into Bitcoin. Although being very volatile, it's still a safe haven for them in comparison to fiat government-backed currencies.
Really briefly, though, do people have to watch out? Because there's still money laundering going on. There are still criminal activities that use this Bitcoin to get away with it?
Yeah, I think people shouldn't bother with it. I think, in fact, there's people busted by laundering money through Bitcoin. I think we're past that stage right now. I think that we are seeing more mainstream adoption, and actually the FBI likes it in a way that people use the Bitcoin because they can track it once it reaches into their account. So,
Thomas, thank you very much for coming in today. And nice doing business with you. Bye-bye.